right, guys, so we are out here. We're gonna go ahead and pick up where we left off, so to speak, with this build, which is the 13.9 upper from ADM that they were nice enough to send out to me. It has a Criterion core barrel, so it's pretty good. I got this zeroed in at 50 with an offset target with 55 grain Winchester white box. So what we have today, so we got a couple different options. So we're gonna try the Frontier 55 grain, and then we have the 62 grain from AAC and the 77 grain from AAC. And we're gonna see which she likes, how it performs. This range here is a 100-yard range. So we'll be able to confirm zero with this and make adjustments. And then while we're out here today, also have the 16-inch SPR build with the new Ballistic Advantage barrel that we swapped into it with the Swamp Fox 2-10. I haven't really shot this optic out to distance yet, so we'll see how this does. It is 24 degrees out right now. It's a complete sheet of ice under the overhang here at the range. And as you guys can kind of just see, it's what we do here in Michigan in the winter. If we skipped it, we'd lose probably 4 to 6 months out of the year every year. So I have a couple zeroing targets set up down there on the backers. What I'll do is I'll probably put 4 or 5 rounds down, and then we will walk down, we'll check the grouping, we'll see what it looks like. If we have to make any windage or elevation adjustments with either optic as we're kind of going through it, we will. If it wasn't a sheet of ice on the ground, I'd like to prone out ideally, but given the state of things, we're just gonna be shooting from the bench here. Have a 9-inch Harris bipod that is interchangeable for both systems, running a Surefire RC2 suppressor. So zeroing with your suppressor and confirming with your suppressor is always a good idea because it can have a shift, especially out to distance. So I have it on here for both rifles. We're gonna see how they do.
Double feed?
Yep. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Walk on down here, check out how she did. Okay, so here we go. That is 5 rounds there at 100 yards with 55 grain Frontier. Not bad. Looks like maybe we can come down a little bit, and I would say honestly I'd probably keep it the windage. It's probably me more than anything. Maybe come down a couple clicks at most, but that's actually not bad. Not a terrible grouping for 55 grain either at 100 yards, but we will make an adjustment, see if we can put another 5 down and be a little bit better. The flyer. Okay. It's really gassy. Hurts my eyes. Oof. All right. All right, so here's our second group of 5. I came down 2 clicks on the Vortex Viper PST, so it's half MOA, so I'll come up 1, and I think that's good. At this point, I feel pretty okay about it. I think that it's just the limitation of the ammo in that barrel. So when we look at this group and this group, I think it's grouping about the same. I think we're seeing maybe some of me shining through in these groups. So I'll come up 1 half MOA click and call that good. And then we're gonna jump on over to the AAC 62 grain and see if that does any better. Let's go check it out. Walking down to check this, realize I have a smooth brain, no ridges or lumps. I forgot to make my 1 click down adjustment, so we will see how this goes. Possibly not awesome, possibly surprising. All right, so here's our first 5 rounds with the 62 grain. Given that we didn't have issues with the 55, I don't think I don't want to adjust my windage. It's probably me more than anything. I'll put another 5 down here and we'll just see how she does. Now I didn't adjust my elevation the 1 click I was going to, and this actually looks like my elevation is great. It's my windage, my side to side, that maybe needs an adjustment, but given that we're kind of looking here at the center, some deviation in each direction is about the same. I don't really know if I need to make an adjustment or if it's my limitations of my shooting. Maybe the trigger is just a little bit rough, so it needs to be broken in. It's just a mil spec on a stag lower. So we'll put another 5 down here. We'll see how she does and make another assessment. Right. Cool. Okay, let's see here. So that actually opened up a little bit compared to our first group. So maybe I do need to come a click to the left because it's pretty consistent. So we'll make 1 more adjustment, move to a different little target, and we'll see how she's doing. It's not a bad group at 100. It's just not, I think, what we're capable of doing. I know the trigger feels a little bit grimy. It might just be because of the cold, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm going to see if I can make it an adjustment here, move it over a click or so, and get her fixed up. Okay, so adjusted left 1 click. We'll see how that does. last one felt like it might have been a flyer. We'll have to see. Okay, so there's our 5 shots, like really, really good there. So this is definitely me. The human input, it's a 6x scope, which should be doable, but maybe it just doesn't. I mean, look at that group. It's not awful. You know, the size isn't terrible. I would say the first one was probably our best, in all honesty, with the 62 grain AAC 5.56. So we will switch on over to the 77 grain, and we'll see. I have a feeling it's going to like that a little bit more if it didn't like the 62 grain quite as much. This group here, I did make a half MOA adjustment to the left, so I'll leave that on the gun for now, and we'll see how the 77 does. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it likes the 62 grain, which is, I mean, that's fine. So what we're on now, 77 grain OTM. So we'll put about 5 down range with these, and we'll see how it groups. I know this 77 grain is what a lot of guys recommend. This is kind of my first like foray into trying to be more accurate and precise, dialing in ammunition, things like that, to see how it mates with the gun rather than just feeding it whatever I have, which was usually 55 or 62 grain. So I know there's other ammo out there besides this AAC stuff. This is what I got for today. So we're just gonna continue this experiment. We're gonna see how it performs with 5 rounds of this. We'll walk down, we'll check that out. Okay. That's high. All right, so in terms of grouping, this definitely is the money. So this is the 77 grain OTM from AAC, and you definitely see all 5 rounds there. 3 are stacked on top of each other, and you got another 2 there. So zeroing with this ammo, I would probably come up and over, probably 1 click up, 1 click over, which I will do. Oh, we got, sorry. So I've made 2 clicks up. Because I see, so you got, sorry, missed that. So you got 1, 2, and 2. So decent grouping, couple pairs together. I did have a flyer. I thought it was high, might have been low when I broke the trigger. Not a bad grouping. You got some of those pairs there. So I definitely think that the 77 grain is the secret sauce for this. I'm gonna bring it up maybe 2 clicks, and we'll see how she does with another 5 rounds. All right, so we brought it up 2 clicks on this. Let's see if this helps us out. Okay, so I still think this is me. I mean, I think, you know, elevation wise, it's probably fine. I'm gonna have to get just better. This is the 77 grain. I think this is probably the winner, honestly, at 100 yards. Maybe a flyer with this guy, and then here. So this is, all I did was come up 2 clicks, which is probably a good correction with the 77 grain from this. So not bad. I definitely say it's me at this point, and just where I'm breaking the trigger, my breathing control is something I need to work on. But I think the 77 grain is probably what I'll be running through this gun. So we ran through all 3 types of our ammo, did at least 2 groups of 5 with each one. So the first one we started with down here was the 55 grain Frontier. Did 2 groups. Actually didn't group badly with the 55 grain and opened up a little bit on the second group. I think that's me, that's human error, human input more than anything. But not bad for 55 grain junk ammo. I actually like Frontier, but a lot of people say that it's junk ammo. I didn't have any issues with it, short of one possible problem with the double feed when we first got started that I think I actually induced by being an idiot. So not bad for the 55 grain. If we come up, this is the 62 grain AAC. It's not bad. I wouldn't have a problem running it necessarily. The first group was okay. If we look at how wide that group was, with this kind of being your median and your points of deviation on the side here. But if you look at the next group, and again, this could be me, but if we kind of look at our center point and our deviation there, right, it's a little bit wider than I would like. And even on the third group here, yeah, we stacked a pair, opened up, healthy amount of human input problems there, but that's still, I don't know if I love that personally. What I think the winner is though, if you jump down here, this is our 77 grain OTM from AAC. There's our first group of 5 at 100 yards, right? And then here's our second group of 5. So it did open up a little bit. Again, I think that this is probably more me than it is the ammunition at this point, or the barrel. There's a break-in period. I still think I'm within the first 100, 150 rounds on that Criterion core barrel with the ADM Mark II 13.9. Great rifle. The gassing's outstanding. You guys are watching the videos. The camera was getting hit with ejections pretty much the entire time, running with an RC2. So from a gassing perspective, I don't think we need to do anything to the bolt carrier, anything with the buffer spring. I think the gun runs great. I think I need to be better for that particular platform, and that's more practice. The temperature could have some kind of effect on drop. I would think that at 100 yards, it's, I mean, pretty negligible. We did come up a couple clicks. We really, I think, only came 1 click to the left, half MOA click on the Viper. So I think, judging off of this, 55 is a good backup round for me. The 77 grain OTM is what I'm going to stick with, at least with that 13.9 ADM build. Hopefully this is helpful if you guys are running a similar build, or if you're just trying to figure out what ammo works best for you. It's a process. As much as we may hate it, as painful as it can be, similar to when you go to the gun range your first time and you have to pay $80 to rent 4 handguns to try before you buy your first handgun, you kind of just have to spend some money on some different ammo, maybe some different manufacturers, see what kind of grain the barrel likes and the gun performs with the best, and then unfortunately, if you do swap out that barrel to something a little bit nicer, maybe you go from a factory 1 to 9, like what came in an M&P Sport 2, and you move up to a 1 and 8 Ballistic Advantage SPR barrel, which is something that I did and will be working through. You're gonna have to A, re-zero everything, but B, you have to figure out what that new barrel likes to eat. So the 1 to 9 with the M&P, that really liked 55 grain. I could put all kinds of crappy stuff through there. It wasn't really gonna group any different, but with a better barrel that's actually made for accuracy and made for better performance, you need to pair your ammunition with the barrel to optimize the results that you're gonna get. So hope this has been helpful for you guys. More to come on this sort of thing. It is cold as hell out here. Catch you on the next one.